Hi.
Hi, welcome to Lesley's video camera class. All right, so we're going over the Canon 5D. It comes with it on it the zoom lens, and at the top it has like all of the information around the lens. So if you ever have any questions, you can always just Google that kind of information. 24 to 105 millimeter is like the name of it. It's a macro lens, which means that it's good for zooming in and getting quite close. I think the actual distance that you can get is about a little bit less than a foot. So especially if you're doing like, you know, your food close-ups, you might have to take it a little bit further back in order to get a close focus and just zoom in if you want to get the extreme close-up. On the side, you'll see that there's the autofocus and the manual focus. Leave it on manual focus.
Yep.
I always turn the stabilizer on just because it makes it a little bit less shaky. For this camera, you turn it on by turning this toggle switch all the way 2 clicks past where it says like this little arrow towards this toggle wheel. And for video, we need that engaged to do the recording. We keep the top on M for manual.
Okay.
And then we press this button here, which you see like the picture in the camera. That's how we engage this window here. And because there's a lens cap on, we can't see anything.
Cool.
So right now I just have the info on. So you can click the info button to show more or less information on the screen. I'll just leave it on a little bit here so you have an idea. This shows you that it's kind of in the movie making display, that the color spectrum is on standard, that AFI Live is, that's code for video. This is the first camera they started doing with video, so it doesn't say video kind of anywhere in it. It's like live function.
Okay.
And you're like, okay. It was actually designed as a wedding camera, and then it shot video so well that it's become this video standard. Auto white balance is what I would advise you to keep it on.
Sure.
Unless once you start messing around with it, you find something that you like for your particular location. But this will just make it easy. It'll keep it kind of the same. As long as it's stationary and you're not moving around too much, it won't change the white balance. And then your frame size, and then your frame rate. And this is how much information is left, or how much time you have left on your card.
Yep.
This is the size of the still photo. If you wanted to take a still photo, you can always just engage the button here and take a still photo.
Yep.
And it'll save it to, this is medium and it's a curved format. At the bottom, this is your frame rate. It's at 60.
Yep.
You can only go down to 30.
Okay.
Going down will increase the light. Going up will decrease the light. But if you go, the higher you go, the cooler the action shots look. So for instance, the beginning of Saving Private Ryan was shot at a very high frame rate, so you can see all the shit happening. So it just depends on your lighting scenario. Next to that is your focal, or your aperture, and it's at 4. This is as open as it will go with this big of a lens.
Okay.
And so that's as bright as it will get. The more you change the f-stop, and it's with this toggle dial here, the darker it will get. This is your general gain. Don't touch this.
Okay.
It'll just, you can increase it. It just makes your quality worse.
Got it.
The next is this is the number of the files.
Yep.
This is your ISO. So to adjust this, you press ISO at the top. And at the top, it has all of this information too. So if you take this display off,
it's still all there.
It's still all there. So auto white balance, frame rate, f-stop, ISO, with all of the switches here as well.
Okay.
So ISO, you press that button, and then it shows you a symbol for how to manipulate it. Oh, sorry, So the symbol for half a wheel is this switch here, and full wheel is this switch here. So you just choose your ISO. The lower the ISO, the darker it will get. The higher, the brighter it will get. I would advise you don't film anything under 32 or over 32, because you'll start to get degradation in the film quality, which you can't really tell here, but
you'll be able to tell if it ends up like on
it's the blacks. Oh, you can see the degradation there, the red. It's bad. So we'll keep our ISO at about 32. And then the white balance, again, if you just press this button here, it allows you to switch with this wheel symbol to the different color palettes.
Okay.
And another way to switch your color palettes is through here. And that's where we saw standard selected.
Yeah.
I like standard, I like landscape, I like neutral. I have these crazy ones, user-defined ones. This is like hyper saturation.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what you want.
Cool.
So if you want to take some time looking at those, then
Yeah.
I recommend that. And then the last thing, nope, that's it in terms of like making the different adjustments. In order to find your focus point,
Yeah.
see how right there is like the plus and the minus in this square box. If you hit the button on the right here, it zooms in 5 times to where that place was.
Okay.
And if you hit it again, it hits 10 times. So what I say is, you know, if we were shooting this lamp and we wanted to make sure that the focus was right on that lamp, we would zoom into the lamp either 5 times or 10 times, and then you set your focus there.
Okay.
And then you just hit it and it goes back.
Got it.
And you know that you're focusing on it right. And then to just start recording, you press the button right here.
Okay.
And then you're recording. Hello. And if you want to use a microphone and you need to know your audio inputs, you go to the screen here.
Okay.
And you go to live view movie
Okay.
function settings. And this is where you select, like, you know, what kind of movie you want to. You won't need to change many things in there. You can have a grid on there if that's helpful for you to get like rule of thirds.
Yeah.
This is your autofocus. It's automatically, you can change a different, if you want to go 30 frames. There's not a lot of options there. Sound recording is set to auto. And I'm really lucky this card doesn't have a rattle to it. A lot of Canon 5Ds do.
Okay.
So you can leave it on auto, and that's usually pretty good. Or you can put a mic in right here, and you can plug in your mic there. And then you can also adjust those levels here. And then if you wanted to take it off and go manual, we'd be like, hey, this is too loud, this is too loud. Then you go down here, and you, how do I change? Oh yeah, and you use the wheel, and you're just like, this is too loud, 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 and now it's leveled correctly to when I'm talking like this. You want it to be between at -6. You never want it to peak. But we'll just set it back and turn it back to manual or auto.
Okay.
And you can disable it entirely if you don't want to have any sound.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the 1-2. I disabled the auto off